Welcome to the You're in Charge podcast, prioritizing your self-care without sacrifice. I'm your host, Heather Dumas, healthy lifestyle strategist, owner and founder of HD Transformations Coaching Company. I am passionate about helping you juggle all the balls and look and feel like a badass doing it. The truth about accountability is that that isn't what you need. I have a lot of people come to me and they say, oh, I need someone to hold me accountable. That's why I haven't been successful. I'm going to say no, that's not it for most people. Some people, yes, but 90% of people, it's not the accountability that you need. It's someone to call you out. It's someone to call you out on your bullshit. To someone to say, but did you actually write down everything you ate? Did you actually count it or not? And I guess you could say that that's accountability, but to me, accountability is making you do it. And no adult needs to be made to do anything. We are all adults. We are all capable. We are all in charge. You are in charge. You're in charge of what you shove in your mouth. You're in charge of what you write down or don't write down. But the truth about accountability is that it isn't the thing that's holding you back. I think what's holding all of us back is being honest with ourselves, being truly, truly transparent with ourselves, because numbers don't lie. They do, however, tell a story. So a huge part of creating a healthy lifestyle strategy that is successful, that is sustainable, that is enjoyable, is knowing your body, knowing what you're putting into it, knowing what it's putting out, knowing how you feel when you do any of that stuff. And a lot of that has to be tracked in numbers. They tell you the story. And not just the scale. Okay. The scale is a very small part of the story. A bigger part of the story is your sleep, how many hours you're sleeping, how effectively, if you're tracking it with your watch or with your Fitbit or whatever, your blood test numbers, your insulin numbers, your thyroid numbers, your hormone numbers, your calorie numbers, your macro numbers. They all tell a story. And if you find that you are incapable or unwilling, because let's be honest, it's really unwilling to track things, I'm going to say it's because you don't want to be honest with yourself. It's not because you don't have time. That's a total lie. You have time. Now, do you want to do it? Probably not. I'm thinking you probably don't because you don't want to know the truth. I know this from personal experience. I have had to have a conversation with myself more than once, dozens of times. The Heather, what the fuck are you doing right now? Conversation. Why did you just shove that in your face? And I have stopped tracking for different reasons, started tracking for different reasons, made all the excuses in the world to myself. And I've watched my clients do it. And I've helped them stop. I've helped them be honest with themselves in a loving way. Let me interrupt you to tell you something. If there is one thing I know for sure, it is that no women eat enough protein. None. I have not yet met one woman who meets the daily protein requirements that her body needs. So that probably includes you. So what do? Well, you can gag down more chicken if you really want to, but you probably don't. You can have a really delicious shake instead. I have some options for you. I have whey protein. I have vegan protein. Either one, they're both delicious. The whey protein comes in both vanilla and chocolate. The vegan comes in vanilla. Both mix up easily with water or your milk of choice. And they will give you a hit of protein, none of the fillers, none of the sugar, none of the nonsense. They're sweetened with stevia and they are teenage boy approved. So you know they taste good. Grab yours on my website. Now back to the conversation. But at the end of the day, numbers don't lie. They tell a story. And once you know the story, you can change the story. Once you know what you're actually eating, what you're actually doing, and what it's doing to you, then you can make changes. But if you don't have that baseline, you don't know where to go. You can take a stab in the dark. And there are ways that you can make changes without tracking calories and tracking macros and that sort of thing. And I'll give you a couple of ideas if you don't want to, of ways that you can make changes without that. But if I'm being honest, you need to track it. And the best part is once you do it for a while, you get really good at it and you kind of know it without even writing it down, which is the best part. That's where the sustainability comes in. You don't have to do it forever, but just food for thought, haha, pun intended. We make 227 food related choices every day. 227. Just imagine if you made 227 decisions every single day without actually thinking through them. How would your day go? How would your life go? If you said 227 times without thinking first, whatever the first thing that came to your mind is. I know I do that. I do that often. And I end up putting my foot in my mouth all the time. I end up getting myself in a lot of trouble. So if you are mindlessly eating, if you are mindlessly making 227 decisions every day, no wonder we're in a mess. No wonder we feel like shit. No wonder we're exhausted and overweight and burned out and brain fogged and no wonder. So if you're making conscious decisions, if you are keeping track of what's happening in your life, you will instantly see change. That's the first part of Revive, is the reset part. We don't even start really tracking stuff and trying to meet goals until after the first phase, because you can actually make change without tracking. So if you're like, ooh, I don't want to work with Heather. I don't want to do anything because I don't want to have to write down what I eat. Good news is you don't have to for the first little while. And by the time you have to, you're going to already feel better because you can make changes without counting. But if you want to get to the finish line, if you want to get all the way to your goals, you have to be honest with yourself. And that honesty comes with numbers. It comes with tracking. It comes with being accountable, I suppose, to yourself. When I listen to podcasts of great people, great coaches, I always think, yep, that's what I need. But sometimes I'm not ready to dive into coaching programs or dive into working with them full time. So I always look for the next best thing. Well, I've got that for you. It's called the Healthy Lifestyle Jumpstart. And it's exactly what, as it sounds, it is going to jumpstart your lifestyle. It's going to help you get moving in the right direction, start making the steps toward it. And if you decide you want to work with me after that, cool. If it gets you where you need to get, even better. Grab it on my website. It's $127, and it is going to be the best $127 you've ever spent, because you are going to feel amazing in just 2 weeks. Now back to our conversation. I just don't like that word because to me, it equals babysitting. And you're in charge. You don't need a babysitter. But sometimes we need a mirror. Sometimes we need a coach to say, hey, that ain't the way you want to go, and shine the mirror in your face. And that's what I'm here for. That's what all of my colleagues who coach, that's what my coaches have done for me. So if you're like thinking about making a change, and the thing that's holding you back is that you don't want to have to track your food, I want you to ask yourself why. Is it simply that you're too lazy? I mean, be honest. But I don't think that's what it is. I don't think it's that you don't have time. I don't think that you think it's too complicated. I think you don't want to know the truth. I think you don't want to have to admit that you ate 3 cookies yesterday, or that you grabbed a bag of whatever on the way to the gym or on the way to work, or ordered pizza. So I guess I'm here today to tell you that you are in charge. You are capable and absolutely able to make the changes that you want to make. And if you've been thinking about it for a while, if you've been getting ready to get ready or waiting for the perfect time, there's not one. It's never going to be the right time. There's always going to be a holiday. We're in the smack middle of it, right? There's always going to be an event. There's always going to be a vacation. It's Christmas and then it's Thanksgiving and then it's Christmas and then it's the new year, new you for 5 minutes. And then you're on to, Valentine's Day, which has now become this big stupid thing. And then you're on to spring break and then it's spring and summer vacations and then blah, blah, blah. There's always something. So there's never a perfect time. You're never going to be all the way ready. I can promise you that. Every single time I've decided to make a change for myself, I've been nervous. I've been uneasy, uncomfortable, unsure. That's what change is. Not changing is where we are right here. Comfortable, predictable. You know exactly what each day is going to bring for the most part. It may be chaos, but you know what's coming. Doesn't have to be chaos. Shouldn't be chaos. If you wait for the perfect time, if you wait until you're ready, you're going to be in the same position in 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, or probably worse off. You're still going to have to, at some point, look yourself in the mirror and figure out what you're putting in your face. You're still going to, at some point, have to start figuring out what's going on with your body. You're going to have to look at the numbers. You're going to have to let them tell you the story, even if it's a nightmare, even if it's a horror story. Those numbers aren't going to lie to you. They're going to tell you, hey, Heather, you've been sitting on your ass for 2 years and your cholesterol's through the roof and your blood pressure's through the roof and your insulin is off the charts and your blood sugar's off the charts and your clothes don't fit anymore. Or the numbers can say, hey, you've been making progress. Oh, look at that scale, dropped 10 pounds this month and another 10 pounds and then another 10 pounds. That's what my clients get, 10 pounds a month on average. We work together for 3 months. That's 30 pounds. If I could promise you, you'll lose 30 pounds in the next 90 days, would that make you feel better about counting? Would it make you feel better about doing something uncomfortable? If it would, let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk about how we can start making some changes and you can ease into the whole counting thing. You don't have to do it first thing. But I want to leave you with this. If you do nothing, if you stick your head in the sand and refuse to do the thing, you're the one that will pay the price. So you're in charge. You get to make the decision. Are you going to do the uncomfortable? Are you going to make the leap? Are you going to do the thing that you're not quite ready to do? I think you should. I'm cheering for you. And I know for sure, if you let me help you, you'll succeed. So there you go. Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember, you're in charge. You're the only one who can create the life and the body you desire. You and only you. I'm here to guide you. I'm here to cheer you on and occasionally to give you the kick in the ass you need to make it happen. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. If you found value in today's episode, please hit subscribe. It'll bring all the newest episodes to the top of your list. You won't have to worry about it. One less thing. And I would love for you to share it with your most stressed out, frazzled friend. She needs it even more than you do. If you have a question or a topic that you'd like me to cover, reach out, shoot me a message on any of the socials or directly on my website. I would love to hear your idea, your question, and I'm always looking for new ones. Until next time, keep being the badass you are, and remember, you are in charge.